I'm going to be getting married. And that's just what I deserve for being such a beautiful woman.
Is that so? You're getting married to Andy then? Congratulations.
That is right. But why do you know about him? Did I ever tell you the name of my boyfriend before?
I think that I've known about Andy a lot longer than you have at this point. But you don't have to worry about that. Just congrats on you both getting married. However, I wasn't really thinking that the two of you would ever make it this far together. But you have always wanted to get married to someone, so this is great for you.
What is up with that kind of attitude? Are you trying to talk down to me? Did you really think that I wouldn't be able to get a man to marry me, even though I have this wonderful body?
Huh? Why do you think I meant what I said as a slight towards you? I just wanted to say congrats for finding a man that would marry you, and that I'm happy to see things working out.
Well, you don't have the right to talk to me like that about my situation. Have you even seen the current job you're working? Would you ever think it's okay for an overnight cleaning lady to talk to anyone else the way you've been? You're the lowest of the low in the society, so I'm not going to let you talk crap.
About this again? What about being a cleaning lady means that I'm the lowest of the low? I've been putting a lot of effort into my job, and I take it very seriously. So don't call me anything like a lowlife, okay?
Well, someone like you shouldn't be having to do a job like that. But perhaps that's the reason why I'm the one getting married and not you.
As though you were chosen? Well, just as long as you're getting married for love.
But when I do get married to Andy, I'll become a housewife for him. Unlike a cleaning lady, I'll never have to work in other people's houses or offices to do their dirty work.
I don't have a problem with any of that, though. Layla, do you think you could stop talking down to me about the job I do? I'm starting to become a little bit upset by the way you talk about me. I'm sure that you can't see that yet, but...
Why do I have to care about how you feel when I talk to you? I'm not in the position where I have to give up my time thinking about how low lives feel. And you are the worst of the low lives.
You're going too far, Layla. And to put some things into perspective for you, do you know how you ended up meeting Andy in the first place?
What do you want to say to me? I was introduced to Andy by Mom, right? She told me that he's one of her friend's son.
Huh? Is that what she told you?
That is. So what does that mean to you? A low-life scum like you is not invited to my wedding? If a cleaning lady came to my special day, it would make the whole atmosphere go sour.
That attitude you have right there. Stop it! I'm getting to my limits with the way you're treating me now, Layla. If I were to stay away from your wedding like you've said, things wouldn't go so well for you. So I'm going. Now, I'll see you at your wedding. Mom, I can see that Layla is going to end up marrying Andrew now, right? Have you not told her yet that I'm the one that's known Andy and introduced him?
Well, that's the problem. It became harder and harder for me to tell her that. With that girl, if I mentioned that you were the one that introduced Andy, she'd freak out, right? She'd get all up in our faces again and would think that we're all playing with her.
Well, I can understand that she wouldn't take it lightly. I can definitely see her flipping out at the news that I was the one to bring him along. But it's crazy that she thinks we're being rude or mean to her when she's the one that's been that way to me my whole life.
And that's the reason I never said anything about her to you. But now that she's going to be getting married to him, she'll finally be able to move out of this house. I'm planning on getting out of here myself and into a new home.
Is that so?
I want to move away with Dad to a smaller farmhouse out in the countryside to spend our final years relaxing. And so we've both been waiting a long time for her to leave.
I can see that. Well, thankfully that time has come.
And once things have settled down after the move, we'd love for you to come out and see the place.
All right. But that's only if Layla can get married to that man. I'm starting to feel a bit bad, though, for Andy now that I've introduced him to a demon of sorts. But if he's really that into Layla, then that's great for him.
I think the two of them fit like puzzle pieces, so it's worked out. I think that Lila and him will be able to get along well, even after marriage. So I'm praying that things go smoothly for her and she doesn't throw it all away.
I'm in the same boat as you are. She told me she doesn't want me to come to her wedding. But I'm afraid something will happen if I don't show, so I'm gonna go still, okay?
And you should still go. She's still a little selfish brat, so you don't have to listen to what she says.
Thank goodness. Well, I'm looking forward to the wedding.
Did you not listen to me? Hurry up and get lost, you moneyless lowlife. I don't want you showing yourself to Andy when he should never know that you're part of my family.
Do you have no idea what you've just done? I think that what's happened is literally taking things way too far between us.
Well, it's your fault for coming to my wedding in the first place, right? I didn't even invite you here in the first place, yet you still showed up.
Well, Mom had received an invitation from Andy asking for the whole family to come to the wedding. I knew that you wanted me to stay away today, but choosing to be violent towards me was going too far overboard.
What about that was violent? I was just making sure that your eyes were opened.
Well, you came up to me and slapped me across the face before yelling at me to leave. Do you not see how messed up something like that really is?
You're getting on my nerves, Sydney. What I had to do with you was in defense of my wedding.
What? Do you know what it means to defend something? Are you sure you weren't just assaulting me a second ago?
Lowlife scum are not a part of my family, so hurry up and leave already. You should have listened to me before I had to take action and defend my wedding.
Why do you think that I'm some lowlife that's worth assaulting?
Because you're an overnight cleaning lady.
Layla, look! What you're saying makes no sense right now.
What I'm saying does make sense. I'm not okay with my little sister being a cleaning lady when she had so much potential. I slapped you to try and wake you up, so now that you understand how I feel about you, get lost.
Then you have a great one.
I don't need to hear that from you.
I'm going to do as you wish and go right home. But allow me to say one last thing. The man that you've just married was introduced to you by me.
Really? Why are you starting to say such unrealistic things now?
I get it. You're not going to believe me. But you're the only one that doesn't seem to care.
What do you mean?
Mom just happened to never tell you about his relation to me. She wanted to keep you from getting upset with me for bringing Andy along, and so she never told you a thing about how he's your husband due to me. You were already upset with me due to my job as a cleaning lady, and she couldn't see you believing her without getting pissed. But the reason that I was able to bring him to you is because I became friends with him and his parents due to my job. But I already have a fiancé, so I decided that he should talk to you more if he was looking for someone.
You know him and his parents? What are you talking about? Do you really think I can take a joke like that seriously? Have you got off the deep end now? I'm sorry that you're having to leave my wedding is so distressing, but it has to be done.
The only reason Mom never told you was for the sake of making sure you would stay with Andy. She was afraid of how angry you'd become and that you'd throw your relationship with Andy away because of me.
Are you really telling me the truth? Why has Andy vanished from me all of a sudden? What's going on here?
Maybe it's because his parents watched as you slapped me in the face earlier?
Huh? They saw all of that?
They saw the whole thing unfold! If it wasn't for you laughing so hard at me, they might have not came and looked. But after you slapped me and started to laugh some more, I went and met with them.
Wait, when you went to go see them, you didn't say anything unnecessary, right? And are you for real? About you and Andy already knowing one another?
Because I had known his parents and him for a while. They took good care of me. And it's because of them that I was able to find you a man to marry. But now you've gone and slapped me in front of both his parents.
But I never knew anything about you guys, so maybe this is just you trying to make up crap. Hold on, something's going on. Because you're not here, his parents seem pretty upset right now. And they just told Andy that I've done something wrong. Do you think you could come back here? I feel that if you don't come back right now, things will get pretty bad for me. Please hurry.
Even if you asked nicely, I'm not coming back now, huh?
Huh? Why not? Right now things are starting to go downhill and I'm a bit panicked. I'm in a bit of pinch right now, so please come back here. Why, after a little slap to my sister, are they all starting to get worked up? Hurry up and get back here.
You asking me to come back now after telling me to get lost out of panic isn't going to work.
Why?
Because you just told me, Layla. You said you don't see me as family, right?
No, that's not what I meant by that.
And now that you've said and done things to someone as vital as me, you might end up getting divorced from him pretty soon. I'm sure that both Andy and his parents are regretting me introducing him to you. We had tried so hard to make things work out between you two. But I've already talked with Andy about this.
Huh? Why? Why are you talking with him before asking me for permission? You don't have to do things like that behind my back. What have you guys been talking about?
I told him that you no longer see me as your family, and so he no longer has to worry about you and I. I then ended our conversation by asking that he do what he thinks is best regarding you.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Do you think that he needs to do something about me being with him now?
Well, you talk down to me for being a cleaning lady, and even have gone as far as to regard me as nothing but a stranger now. I feel as though he should understand that and think twice about being married to you.
Please don't tell me you told him all about that, right?
Of course I told him.
Why did you do something like that to me?
That's right. I almost forgot to say this. I think you really don't know the importance of this.
What is it now? What importance is there that I'm unaware of?
Andy's parents are actually the ones that own the company in which I work for.
Huh?
You've been going on about how much you dislike those that work in the cleaning industry. And since you seem to hate people like me so much, it wouldn't make sense that you be married to the son of two people that own a company which is in the cleaning industry, right?
Hold on. Andy is the son of the company's CEO? I had a feeling that he had a lot of money, but I just assumed he was working for a good company, that's all. That would mean that I've landed the perfect husband, right?
Well, that's only if your marriage to him lasts, right?
I never knew about that. He never mentioned to me that his parents owned a company. I'm freaking out right now because there's so many things I never was told about. This is all way too different from the situation I was thinking about. What should I do now?
Asking me what you should do will get you nowhere. That all has nothing to do with me now. I think that your wedding will be canceled now, and you being married to Andy will crumble, right? You're going to go back to being a single and jobless loser, right?
What is with you calling me that? I'm your sister. And if all of that happens to me because of you, you get back here right now and do something about this. I've never heard of a little sister acting out like that towards her older sister.
Well, I don't think of you as my sister anymore.
Huh?
After what's happened, I'm thinking of just cutting ties with you now. I like to think that someone who's willing to slap their own sister is no family of mine. And so I'll do whatever I can to make sure I don't have to see you anymore. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait, what are you saying? If you are to cut ties with me right now, what will happen to my marriage to Andy? Stop trying to run away from your responsibility.
Well, to be honest, you being married to him was never going to work. He was going to become aware of you at some point in time, so aren't you happy that his eyes have been opened now? Ah, and another thing. Mom and Dad are going to be moving away. And they said they're no longer going to take care of you anymore. So, if you're thinking of going back to them, they won't be there. Don't forget about that, okay?
What's going on? Are you saying that Mom and Dad are going to throw me away as well? You getting in the way of my wedding is the worst thing ever.
I didn't get in the way of anything. You just messed up by slapping me in the face.
That was just a joke, or maybe it was just an accident.
No matter how you try and make excuses for what happened, it won't help you. Now, good luck with your marriage. But before you try for marriage, maybe find yourself a job? Right now, you're just a complete loser. Are you not embarrassed being 33 years old and still living with your parents under all their care? You like to call cleaners lowlifes, but when you think about it, someone who's unemployed and lives with their parents is the real lowlife. See you never, you lost cause! Never try talking to me again. In the end, Layla was left in despair after her wedding was canceled. She immediately ran away from everyone at the wedding and their short marriage was over. Andy's parents tried searching for her as they still wanted to talk to her about why she would do what she did, but after searching for her for hours, they gave up and let her be. Andy was left a small bit heartbroken, but was more relieved than anything else since he was able to see the true person that Layla really was. Layla tried running back to her parents' house, but would soon find that it was already too late for herself. Layla's parents were already out of their old house and moved to the countryside by then. And since she had no one to rely on anymore, she was forced into having to support herself. She tried to get Sydney to help her, but by that point, Sydney had already blocked all her ways of contacting her. Sydney had also gotten married to her fiancé as well, and moved to a new location. And so, Layla was left with nothing but herself, and had to start from scratch like most people had done in their early 20s. If only she had gone out and started fending for herself sooner. Something like this would never be happening to her.
Hey, Megan, how are you doing? It's been a long time since we last spoke. I was just wondering if you were well.
Carl? Yeah, it really has been a long time. I'm fine. I'm doing much better without you. So, what do you want? You've got a lot of nerve talking to me after everything you did. It's already been months since you left, and you suddenly want to have a chat? Just to let you know, I'm not interested in catching up or making up with you.
I just want to know how you've been recently, that's all. You don't have to be so defensive. You must be feeling lonely living all by yourself in that house without me, right? You can't have completely forgotten about me already.
Lonely? That's a great joke. I stopped feeling lonely 3 seconds after you walked out the door. Honestly, I felt more angry and sad. But it's already been months. I'm not sad about you anymore. I'm disappointed and still angry enough to not want to have anything to do with you, but otherwise, I'm doing really well. I'm grateful to our lawyers that our divorce went so smoothly and that it was all over so quickly. Thanks to that, I didn't have to meet you in court as often as I expected.
Alright, I'm kinda shocked. I thought that you would still feel something for me. I mean, it's only been 6 months, you know? You can't have gotten over me that quickly, can you? I kinda feel like we've really grown apart. I feel like there's a massive distance between us now. We used to be husband and wife, and we were in love, and we lived together, ate dinner together. But look at us now. We're so far apart.
Huh? What's your point, Carl? I told you that I'm not interested in talking to you. That includes getting nostalgic about how things used to be. And what do you expect? I don't know where you're living right now, but of course we're far apart, physically and emotionally. We're divorced, and we're never going to see each other ever again. We're complete strangers now. You're no different to any stranger I pass on the street. The difference between you and a stranger is that I would rather have a conversation with any random person rather than speak with you.
Megan, don't be so cold. You don't have to be so harsh towards me. I used to be your husband.
The key words are used to be. That was until you won the lottery and suddenly started acting like you were better than me. Yeah, it was a lot of money, but I don't understand how you could have changed so much in just a matter of hours. You threw me away on the day you won that lottery, and you're telling me that I'm being cold? I don't have anything to say, and I have no intention of being kind to an idiot like you.
Trust me, I feel really bad for what I did. I know I've been an idiot. That's why I messaged you today. I did something terrible, but I wish you could just talk to me. I'm really sorry. I hurt your feelings. I thought about what I did since then, and I've reflected on my actions. I regret ever doing something so stupid and impulsive. I should have been more rational when we were talking about the winnings and shouldn't have reacted like that. No, I should have listened to what you said more carefully. You were being so reasonable about what to do with the money, and I wrecked our marriage because I was so selfish. I regret all of that and more.
The fact that you're saying that now means you're in the situation I predicted you'd end up in all those months ago, right? I hate to rub it in, but I told you so. I can't believe it took you so long to realize how wrong you were. I could see it coming from a mile away, but I guess you just had to experience it firsthand.
I know, I was stupid and I'm sorry. I finally realized that you warned me that this would happen for my sake. I was too blinded by the money to understand that you were only thinking of me. I wish I could go back in time and change everything, but I can't. I was so stupid and I regret it all.
Yeah, you were so stupid. And horrible, too. I get that winning $3 million was a big deal. It's a lot of money, and it's not every day that such a large amount of money comes into hand. I think anyone would panic and get big ideas about how they want to spend their newfound fortune. I was pretty shocked too, and I won't lie, I thought about all the amazing things we could buy too. But the way you reacted was abnormal. Once you knew you had the winning ticket, nothing else mattered to you. You only cared about yourself and the money.
I wasn't thinking straight. It was like I was in a dream state. I couldn't help myself.
All I suggested was that we should be sensible with how we spend the money and save as much of it as possible for our future together. And keep some money aside in case we had children. I wasn't planning on taking anything from you, and I made no mention of spending it all by myself, but you started raving. Shouting at me that it was your money and that I wasn't allowed to touch a single cent. That it was for you to use the way you wanted to spend it. I never intended to take anything from you, but that's what you assumed. And suddenly, poof! Like magic, you were gone, along with the money. You didn't even answer my messages until you sent me the divorce papers. And even then, you only replied that you would give me alimony if I signed the papers. We had been together for 3 years, but all that went down the drain when you got that money and turned into a completely different man. For weeks, I wondered what those 3 years were, if they meant nothing to you. After I stopped being sad, I realized that I had already wasted 3 years, and that I shouldn't waste any more time trying to make sense of what you did.
I know. I was completely at fault. But it was $3 million. Neither of us had even had a tenth of that amount in our banks at one time. You can imagine why I went so crazy, can't you?
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but that doesn't excuse your behavior. You ranted at me that my parents might come and beg you for money because they're so poor and that you couldn't trust anyone anymore. You were insulting me and my family with every word you said. Because you had all this money, you had this ridiculous idea that you were better than all of us. I never knew you could be so hurtful and obnoxious, and I was shocked that you could change so easily because of some money.
I don't know what got into me. I don't really know why I said any of that. Well, I didn't mean it, you know that, don't you? I regret everything I did and said after that. I wish I could take it all back.
Really? It sounded like you meant it at the time. Don't try and run away from what you did. It's way too late for you to start begging me for forgiveness. I couldn't care any less about how guilty you feel. Your feeling bad isn't going to change anything. Anyway, what do you want? Let's get this over with.
What are you talking about?
There's a reason why you messaged me today, isn't there? I know you didn't just message me so that you could apologize.
No, I really was worried about you. I wanted to show you that it changed and felt bad about what I did. I guess I also wanted to find out what you did with the money I gave you when we divorced. I was just curious about how you spent it, that's all.
Money? That's what you're interested in? You're talking about the lump sum of money you gave me, right? You chose to give me that money instead of sending me regular payments of alimony because you didn't want to risk having to send me alimony payments for the rest of your life, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that money. I gave you $200,000, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. What about it?
What did you do with it?
It's my money, so what does it matter what I did with it? I don't think it's any of your business how I spent it. It's not like you set any conditions for how I spend it when the amount was decided in court.
Yeah, but it was my money to begin with. I think I have a right to know what you've done with it and decide what you do with it regardless of what was decided in court. And if you have any left, I was wondering if you could return it. Since you're so smart when it comes to money, I was hoping you still have a lot left.
No way. You can't seriously be asking for it back. Of course I'm not giving it back. It may have been yours when you had it, but it became mine when you paid it to me as compensation. Do you understand the meaning of the word compensate? You're the one that suddenly asked for a divorce, so I was owed alimony. But you didn't want to pay that, and I didn't want to keep on having to meet you in court, so I settled for that money you gave me. I don't have any obligation to return that money to you. That money was owed to me, and it's mine.
Yeah, it was compensation, but I only gave you a lot of money because I had a lot of my own money at the time. But I'm having trouble right now, and I need some money. It would be great if you could give it back. To be honest, it's my money, so I shouldn't even have to ask you.
What do you mean by trouble? I got married after we divorced. Oh, so the rumors I heard were true. Congratulations! I heard that you married someone. So, how did that turn out for you?
She ran away with all of my money. I never should have married her.
What? All of it? Yeah, can you believe it?
It was $3 million, so I thought that I didn't have to worry about anything for the rest of my life. I thought I could live like a celebrity. So I resigned from my job and had a house built for me and my new wife. We filled it with designer furniture and everything. We even had a pool put in. We were living the perfect life together until one day she suddenly asked for a divorce. After the divorce was finalized, I realized that all of my money had been transferred to her bank account, and she was gone. We were divorced. My account was empty. She had disappeared. She even told her lawyers that I'd been cheating on her. Even though I'd never done anything like that. I'd already lost $1 million in compensation during the divorce for an affair I never had, and she took the rest of what was in my account without me even realizing it. I don't know where she is, but the last I heard, she was living in a penthouse apartment abroad.
You said you never cheated on her, but she managed to win the court case? That must have meant that she had enough evidence to argue for compensation. You can try and act the victim all you like, but in the end, it was your own fault. Your own irresponsible actions brought all this upon you.
Yeah, fine. She got pictures of me with another woman. But how is it fair that she gets $1 million in the divorce? It's my money!
So you did cheat on her after all. You're a pathetic excuse for a husband.
Yeah, alright. Say all you like. Anyway, that's not my point. I've explained why I need the money. Can you give me back the money I gave you? I need it right now. My ex-wife got the house in the divorce too, so I don't have anywhere to live. She's not even using it. She's abroad. But the woman put it out for sale. I was kicked out of my own house so that she could sell it and take more money from me. Megan, you're still living at the same place we lived in when we were married, right? Can we live together again?
Excuse me? Are you asking if you can move in with me?
Let's just forget about everything that happened in the past and live together. I want us to start over. I'll be a better husband this time. Even if we don't have the $3 million, I know that we can be happy together. I still love you. We can work through this together. I swear I'll make you happy this time.
No way. You must be out of your mind. It's disgusting how you think you can slither your way back into my life again. We're over, and we're never getting back together. Ever. The divorce was finalized, and I'm free of you. I don't have anything else to say to you. Plus, I've already moved out of that house and sold it. I'm living somewhere else.
Well, you moved out. Where are you living now? Are you still close by?
I'm not giving you the details of where, but I'll tell you a bit about it. Thanks to the compensation I got from you, I was able to buy some pretty reasonable shares. I had to be patient, but it went really well. I managed to earn a profit from it.
You bought shares? I never knew that you knew how to do that kind of stuff. Why didn't you tell me when I had the $3 million? We could have made an even bigger fortune.
Don't be stupid, Carl. It was beginner's luck. And of course I didn't put the entire $200,000 you gave me into buying shares. I invested a reasonable amount and got lucky. Once I made a decent profit, I backed out and put all the money I made into a savings account. Right now, I'm working full-time and using the money I've saved up to live a little more luxuriously. I buy organic and I spend money on the things I love and enjoy. But I still have money saved for a rainy day. Thanks to that, I was able to get a penthouse apartment in a really lovely area. It's not filled with designer furniture, so it might not be as fancy as the place you had, but it's home. I realized early on that it was dangerous to impulse buy when you have so much money at your fingertips, so I try and only buy what I need or really want. I'm doing really well at work too. So everything's going perfectly. Smooth sailing. I was being serious when I said I was doing better without you. Honestly, I'm grateful that you won that lottery, and I'm glad you told me you wanted a divorce when you did. If you hadn't, I would have been stuck with you.
You living in a penthouse apartment too? You're kidding. I never imagined that you would end up being so successful. It's only been 6 months since we divorced. But that's my money you're standing on. You and my other exes, you're both living in luxury thanks to me.
It's money we were owed. I don't know what to say about that money she took from your account. Except maybe that it was just karma coming around to bite you in the ass. By the way, how much money do you have saved right now?
About $200?
You can't be serious. You're turning 36 this year, aren't you? You don't have a place to live, you're unemployed, and you only have $200 saved? I would sympathize, but I know that it's all your own fault. What are you planning to do from now on?
I was just kicked out of my own house last week. I haven't been able to find a job yet. I thought that I could sell the house, but my other ex got it in the divorce, so I don't have anything worth selling. I already failed one job interview, and I didn't know what else to do, so I decided to message you, hoping that you could help me.
What about your parents? Why don't you ask them to let you stay with them while you find a place of your own? And a job.
Some idiots in my parents' neighborhood found out that I won $3 million and started harassing my parents. Most of it was really childish, you know, throwing toilet paper around, but they were getting death threats in the mail and stuff too, Some magazines are asking for interviews non-stop. My parents ended up moving away and they cut ties with me. I need your help, Megan. I don't have anyone else.
You're the idiot, Carl. That's the main reason why I warned you about bragging about your win to everyone. Just because you won $3 million doesn't make you better than everyone else. I told you that you shouldn't get carried away, didn't I? But you didn't listen, and you lost a lot of friends and made a lot of enemies in the process.
I know. I regret a lot of what I did. I regret not listening to you the most, because none of this would have happened if I just did as you said. That's why I want to get back together again. I need you to keep me in check.
Sorry, Carl, but I'm not interested in being your babysitter. We're never getting back together. There's not even a 1% chance of it happening.
Why not? I'm not asking you to be my babysitter. I want us to be husband and wife again. We didn't get divorced because we stopped loving each other. You still love me, don't you? We can get back together again.
You must be joking. You're the only one that thinks we still have a chance. I don't know whether you do actually still have any feelings for me, or if you're just saying all this because you want money. But either way, it doesn't change how I feel about you. The second you said you wanted a divorce, I hated you from the bottom of my heart. You chose your money over me. You made that really clear during the divorce. Now, I'm indifferent. I couldn't care less about what happens to you.
Don't say that. That hurts more than being told you hate me. Please, I'm begging you for help. Could you at least have some pity for me? I need your help. We used to be married, remember? We spent 3 years living in the same house. We can forget about everything and start new together.
No thanks. You're the one that asked for a divorce despite the 3 years we spent together, so don't bring it up as a reason to get back together.
Then could you at least lend me some money? That's all I asked for. You said you've got money saved up. You can spare some, can't you? You made that money because of the money I gave you. You owe me. Come on. I don't even have a place to live. I'm begging you, Megan. Help me out. I don't have anyone else to turn to.
I don't have any obligation to help you. You won $3 million and you told me that you didn't trust me with your money, saying that I might waste it all on shopping sprees. Only God knows where you got the idea that I would do that. You said you wanted to spend it how you liked and demanded I sign the divorce papers. And you left, taking all your money with you. Well, I'm telling you now that I'm free to spend the money I have however I like, including the money I got as compensation. I don't have a single cent to give you.
Then what am I supposed to do? The reason why you have so much money right now is because of the money I gave you. Don't you feel any gratitude towards me? You could at least give something back as thanks. It's not fair that you're living in a penthouse apartment and have money saved and still have a job. I don't have anything. How can I accept that?
Why should I care whether you accept it or not? You were living in a house filled with designer items and lived the celebrity life for a few months, didn't you? I hear that your new wife was quite beautiful, too. You didn't have to work and spent your days relaxing, sleeping, and eating, I guess. Do you remember what you told me when you left me? You said that you were rich and that you deserved better than a boring old woman like me. Even though we're the same age. Even though you would be just as boring without that money. You said that you were going to find someone younger and prettier. Someone that would suit your newfound fortune. Did you think I would forget that you said that?
I don't remember saying anything like that at all. But I'm sorry. I really am. I wasn't myself then. I didn't think that at all. I've never thought anything like that. You didn't think I was being serious, did you? Ever since we got divorced, I've been thinking about you. I just want to get back together. I realized after spending a few months living with my other wife that the only one for me was you. I need you, Megan.
Really? You need me? Thanks. I'm so flattered.
Is that all you have to say? I'm begging you here. Just listen to what I have to say, please. Can't you be a little interested just for a minute? I just need $1,000, that's all. I won't ask for any more than that. I'll pay you back. Megan, are you listening to me? If I have $1,000, I can buy lottery tickets again. I'll win a fortune, and I'll be able to give you all the money you want.
You've got to be kidding. I guess it's true that money drives people crazy. You hear a lot in the news about how people spent their winnings on something ridiculous, but I think you've outdone all of them. I've never heard of anyone that had to beg their ex for money to bet their chances on a second win. If you think that's the way out of your problems, then there's no helping you.
What do you mean there's no helping me? You can help me. I just need money. We can fix everything if we get back together and help each other through this. I want to start over with you. I love you. Don't you love me back? Don't you feel sorry for me?
You don't love me. You just love that I have something you don't. My money. And I don't need anything to be fixed. My life is great as it is now. It's not perfect yet, but you're not the one that will make it perfect. You need to learn to fix your behavior and fix your problems yourself. Don't bother me anymore.
I do love you. I only have you. Give me back my money.
It's not yours. I made this money because of the decisions I made. You lost yours because of the decisions you didn't think through. Don't ever message or call me ever again. You asshole. Let me give you the same parting gift you gave me. I deserve better than a boring old man like you. I'm going to find someone that loves me and live happily ever after without you. I'll be blocking your number, so don't try and contact me. Goodbye! After that, Megan blocked Carl's number and blocked him on all of the social networking they were connected on. Megan was able to forget about Carl pretty easily and was enjoying her peaceful life without him. She was living her ideal life, focusing on her career and coming home to the apartment she had taken care to furnish with things she loved. Carl, however, had used up what remained of his savings and still couldn't pass an interview because of his obvious lack of work ethic. He didn't change his attitude and blamed the interviewers for not passing him. As a result, he started borrowing money from loan sharks. And with that money, he began gambling at his nearest casino. Of course, it wasn't that easy to make a fortune, and the gambling only made his debt bigger and bigger. He was digging his own grave, but he still didn't change his attitude. After realizing how big his debt had gotten, he became desperate. But instead of trying for another job interview, he tried to steal money from a convenience store and was caught by the police. Megan found out about Carl's arrest on the morning news, but was too indifferent to care. She only remarked that money really does drive people crazy, and went on about her day as she usually would. Carl was just another stranger to her now.